most beautiful names of God, the great, the majestic God Almighty says, that is because God is the truth, and that which they invoke besides him is falsehood, and that God is the Most High, the Great, and he says, he is God, other than whom there is no deity, the sovereign, the pure, the peace, the giver of security, the guardian, the exalted in might, the compeller, the majestic. The majestic is the one possessing majesty, meaning he is exalted above the attributes of creation. He is the great one before whom everything is insignificant, and he is far above resembling anything else. The name the majestic is close in meaning to the name of God, the great. Ibn Jarir said, the great one means the magnificent one, before whom everything else is insignificant and than whom nothing is greater. Tafsir Ibn Jarir, pride, when applied to God Almighty, is a praiseworthy attribute, for he alone is worthy of it. He is the exalted, the Most High, may his glory be magnified. However, when applied to created beings, it is a blameworthy attribute, for they do not deserve the attribute of pride due to their weakness, imperfection, and deficiency. Therefore, God Almighty says in a Hadith Qudsi, pride is my cloak, and majesty is my robe. Whoever disputes with me concerning either of them, I will cast him into hellfire. Narrated by Abu Dawud and authenticated by Al-Albani. Thus, servants of God should be characterized by humility and gentleness, and avoid arrogance and pride, for these are attributes of the Almighty, the Most High. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, he who has an atom's weight of pride in his heart will not enter paradise. Narrated by Muslim. The implications and effects of God's names Al-Kabir, the Great, and Al-Mutakabir, the Majestic. The implications of God's names Al-Kabir and Al-Mutakabir are the glorification, praise, and awe of God Almighty in the hearts. God is greater than everything, and nothing deserves to occupy the heart with glorification except Him, the Exalted. Therefore, it is prescribed in prayer for the Muslim to say, Allahu Akbar, God is great, repeatedly, so that the glorification and awe of God Almighty may be firmly established in his heart, and that He, the Exalted, is greater than everything. These two names also cultivate humility and gentleness in the Muslim. Pride, arrogance, and haughtiness are not characteristics of a Muslim, as these attributes belong exclusively to the Creator, the Majestic and Exalted. Humility is more fitting for humankind. Our Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, no one humbles himself for the sake of God except that God raises him in status. Narrated by Muslim.